Hey friends and enemies, it's Tag. I got a long drive ahead of me and I feel like I've been procrastinating on making this video. So I thought I might try recording it while I was driving. And you might have to excuse if I end up using this cut. You're probably going to have to excuse the noise of my very old car. But we'll try it out, see how this turns out. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of summarize what Wasteland Weekend 2018 was like for me. And it's been like a month. I can't believe that it's been a month. The time has been passing by really quickly. If you've been following me on social media, I've had a major Indiegogo going for me and Art's comic, and that's been taking up most of my time. And the Indiegogo did end, but we're working on the book, so it kind of has taken priority in my life at this point. But I'm going to take this chance while I have it and talk about Wasteland Weekend 2018. Wasteland has kind of become a really big, unexpected part of my life in the past several years. I started back in 2013. I know I say that all the time, but if this is your first time tuning in, my first Wasteland Weekend I ever attended was in 2013. And here I am in 2018 and I haven't missed a year. My tribe, the Death Caps, has really, really grown since then, and our camp has really grown. And this year, one of the biggest things for me personally that affected my experience was camp, because I think we did a killer job, and this is the year I think our camp has looked the best. We're camping within the walls this year, which means that our camp had to be fully themed and fully immersive because we were kind of a part of the city. And I think we did a really good job. There's always room for improvement, but I was really proud of it. Everybody came together and helped build it. And it turned out really good. We had a lot of people coming into camp, a lot of people coming to check it out, taking pictures, which is kind of a new experience. We kind of got our shit together last year and camp looked pretty damn good, but this year I feel like it got even better. And seeing everybody else's camps, people really brought it this year. Like even newbie camps and camps that were in like the non-themed zone did a really good job. It was really interesting. Like, a lot of the time we kind of go when we explore the whole area at night. So we go out into Tent City in the unthemed area. And it was actually hard to tell where the unthemed area and the themed area began and ended this year. Because the people out in Tent City really brought it. And I think everybody is really... everybody this year was super enthusiastic about kind of keeping theme and building things. So it was really cool. We wandered forever out to the RV blockade, and we were still running into really great themed camps, which I thought was really cool. Consequently, there was a lot of people who, first years that came who had really, really fucking good costumes. I feel like the awkward stage of people having really crappy costumes their first year is starting to go away. And I don't know if that's because of how snarky people have been in the online groups, but whatever it is, it's working, because my first year in 2013... I will tell you, that costume was rough. That was embarrassing. But, you know, it was kind of tradition that everybody's first year, they look kind of rough. And then as it goes on by, like, their second year, they have, like, a solid costume, you know, if they're applying themselves. And for me, it took, like, my third year to really get a passable good costume, I think, personally. But this year... damn, like the newbies really fucking brought it. They were really good. I saw so many people that I met a lot of people, and I'd be talking to them and be like, how many years have you been attending? And they'd be like, oh, I found out about this like a month ago, and their costume was just fucking on point. But one of the big things about Wasteland for me is seeing all these friends that I've made over the years, and I actually got to spend time with quite a few of them this year, which I didn't get to last year, and the weather was really nice. There's always wind, there's always heat, so you just gotta get used to it. Like, it was hot this year, yeah, but that it's a desert, it's always going to be. But it was pretty nice out, and, you know, there was dust, there was wind, but I got out and got to do some things, got to hang out with some people I haven't seen in a while, and it was really fun. Ramen night was a huge success. We had more people, way more people than last year. We were a little bit more organized. I think we had a really good turnout, and those pins, man, people really loved the ramen night pins. I didn't even get one. Me and Fujio gave them all out pretty quickly, and I need to make more next year for sure, because there was not enough for all the people I wanted to get them. If I had my way, everybody who attended Ramen Night would get a pin, and that's kind of my goal for next year, but there being like 100+ people that attended, it just wasn't doable. And I didn't get one, but I immortalized the pins in a video, and that's good enough for me. I'm glad that all my friends got some, to be honest. So I had a friend of mine, he's like, oh, I feel bad you didn't get one, I'll give you mine. And it was, no, I didn't make them for me, I made them for you guys. So if you got a hold of those pins, hold them tight, because this is going to be the only year we produce that design. Next year, it's going to be a totally different one. So enjoy it. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that happened, because this year was intense and we had a lot going on. We were a part of the main story mission this year, which I really hope we get invited to the main story mission next year as well, because that was a lot of fun, and I really liked being in the main lore and getting people involved in that. We had, oh, the condoms. Yeah, the Death Caps condoms. That's another thing. We had, if you guys haven't watched my other video, Sex After the Apocalypse, we made a bunch of Death Caps condoms, and I was giving them out for free, and I gave them to all my tribe mates to give out for free to people who needed them. And we also had, you know, normal condoms that weren't themed, and those didn't go as quickly. I still have like a gigantic bag of condoms sitting in my closet because of that. But those Death Caps condoms, next year I need to make like, I think at least over 100, because the first day they were gone. People wanted them. I don't know if they were using them or if they just wanted them as a collectible, but those things went fast. I didn't make nearly enough, and all of my tribe mates too. Like, we gave those away within the first day, and it sucked because I had people asking all event, like, oh, do you have any more? Or people coming to camp specifically for those, and I had to turn them away, and that sucks. So next year, I will definitely bring more of those. This year, I survived on barter only, and I gotta tell you, if you're thinking about trying that next year, it's 100% doable. The only thing I spent money on, and it wasn't even my money, I bartered something so that somebody would buy it for me. Well, I guess that counts as barter then, is I got a burger at Brahmin Burger at one point during the night, and Brahmin Burger is a new addition to Wasteland as far as I know, and they're a food vendor, and I got a grilled cheese, and holy shit, that was the best grilled cheese I've ever had in my life. In my life! It was so delicious, and I did break my diet by eating that, but it was fucking worth it, and it was amazing. And I want to do it again next year if they're back. There was a lot of food vendors this year. Well, not a lot, but there was a lot more themed food vendors this year. There was a barbecue place I didn't try that I heard was really good. And of course, not Golden Bamboo, but a new Thai food place was there, and Vic was kind of helping them out. And I hope they did well. You'll see in my video, Vic talks about them a little bit, but I really hope they did well. They had really good food, and they were selling Thai tea that I think sold out I hope sold out, because people were buying it all weekend. I kept seeing people with it, but the food vendors are really good this year, and a lot of them were, they had in-theme setups, which is really cool. Barter Town this year was amazing. On the subject of living on only barter for the weekend, Barter Town was huge this year. All the vendors that were like bartering stuff had a really cool stuff this year. And I'm telling you right now, if you haven't been to Wasteland, even if you have been to Wasteland, if you haven't gotten in on the barter game, start prepping now, because people had some cool shit. And you know, I wish I would have brought more stuff to barter. Like, that is one of my biggest regrets about the event, because there was a lot of stuff I wanted, and there was a lot of stuff that people were it was like stuff that they made, like handmade things, stuff that artists were producing. It was really cool. I almost sold out of patches, and I almost bartered out of patches and pins. The pins, that's another thing. I gotta make more Death Caps pins, because I brought all of them that you guys ordered, because I had people order and then they could pick it up on site, and then I had maybe 10 left that I was going to use as barter, and those were gone. Not even the first day. They were gone within like the first couple hours of me being at Wasteland. And people really like those. I'm glad. And I'm going to definitely make more. And I'm going to start making some that kind of commemorate the year, I think, just for barter. And yeah, that was really cool. But my barter ran out really quickly. I tried to like barter one thing a day, but I think by Saturday I was pretty much all tapped out. And I don't know. It was very doable to survive on barter only, you guys. Like, assuming that you brought your essentials like food and water and you're not relying on barter to get those things. You can barter, and the cool thing is, like, I would barter for something that I knew another vendor might want, and then barter with them to get another thing that I wanted. And I recommend it. It was a lot of fun, and I think that if I brought more things, I could have made out like a bandit as far as barter, because like I said, you can find cool stuff for your costume, functional camping stuff. There's a ton of stuff out there, and yeah, Bartertown is one of my favorite places to visit this year. Last year it was really hot and I didn't make it out there as much as I wanted to, but this year it was really big and it was pretty organized, so kudos to the people at Bartertown. Great job. My buddy was she's in the tribe, the Nude Queen. She had a table there and I think she did really well, and next year I'm gonna help her out more. She sold some of my patches for me, which I really appreciate, but I think I'm gonna throw her some cash and maybe make the tribe go in and do shifts at the table. But I think everybody did pretty well that vended there, and yeah, surviving on barter. The only time it sucked was when I really wanted to get food, and you know, I had food with me, I could survive, but like I really wanted Thai food at one point, and I was just desperately trying to barter with somebody to buy me Thai food. But that was about it. Like, anything that you want, you can get. They had limited edition enamel pins that were official Wasteland merch, and I really wanted that. And I bartered with one of my tribe mates for him to go buy me that. So just get creative with your barter. And I think a lot of people like patches and pins. That's a really hot barter item. But big things too, like costume parts. It sucked. The whole time I was there, I kept seeing things I wanted and being like, oh, if I would have brought this, I could have bartered for that. So really, bring your stuff for sure. Kind of on that note, and also just merging with the camp subject. Holy shit, you guys! The Faceless Merchants had the coolest setup. Oh my gosh! Like, I thought our setup was cool, and I was feeling really proud. And then I saw that thing directly across from us, and I felt like the Kmart neighbor that put up like shitty Halloween decorations next to like the full-on functioning haunted house. It was amazing, and they worked so hard. Like, they got there, I think, a day before us, and they somehow erected this giant structure. It was super awesome. It's their first year having it up there, and they fucking killed it. That was one of my favorite camps this year. It was really cool. So shout out to the Faceless Merchants. And they also had a really cool mission going on. So if you guys are thinking about, maybe you have a bunch of stuff for barter. I carried around a small barter pack. The Faceless Merchants, you can sign up at their little outpost and basically become, all you need is to sign up, and you need a mask, I believe. I'd like to do a full-on video on them because they're really interesting. They have really cool lore. Their leader's a badass. But you go in, you sign up, you need a mask, and then you walk around, you have a trade route, and you bring your barter goods around with, like, you have a giant backpack. I think you have to have a giant backpack because you're going to be carrying a lot of stuff. And yeah, you go make a trade route, and you basically go, a bunch of tribes signed up saying they want Faceless Merchants to visit them. You go and you barter stuff, and then you mark down on your basically on your route who you visited. And if you want to get around and meet like a bunch of tribes and also barter goods, that is like the perfect, it's awesome. It was, I don't know, it's one of my favorite concepts for a Wasteland tribe because it gets people immersed and it gets you to meet people, and it also gets you on the barter game, which is really cool. So this year I was kind of like doing a lot of lore missions, but here's the thing. Here's the kicker of the trip. I got fucking sick. I got sick for the first time at Wasteland, and it was bad. I don't know what happened. I got sick a little bit before Wasteland with a cold, and I thought I can beat this. I have like a week. And I felt good by the time I got there. And then the second I got on the site, and TJ was sick too. I blame him because he was okay, and then he was sick the day we left. I felt okay. I was like taking care of myself, taking my vitamins, trying to like pump myself full of vitamin C to fight off the sickness. First day I felt okay. Second day I woke up totally sick, runny nose, lethargic, felt horrible. And there was a day, it sucks, I think it was Saturday, where I felt really, really bad, like super sick, probably the most sick I've been in a while. And I didn't have like a lot of medication to take. I only had a Benadryl. So I took it, and of course it made me drowsy. So I ended up being all out of it, and I was like laying in our main tent. And it sucks. 2 guys came in, and they were coming to visit, and I think they said like, oh, we saw the YouTube channel, we wanted to come say hi. And like, I was sick as a dog. I don't even think I acknowledged them, and I feel so bad about it. Like, I've still been thinking about it up until now. And if that was you guys, I am so sorry. I wanted to give you guys a patch. I don't even know if I did. I can't remember if I even like gave you guys a patch or said anything, because I was just laying on the floor in like a stupor. And I feel so bad. Thank you for taking the time to come visit me. I'm sorry that I wasn't a good host. That is actually my biggest regret of the trip. And it sucks because like that whole day I felt good by like late afternoon, because it kind of passed, and then I didn't feel super sick. But that whole morning, like, I was just out of it, and multiple people came by to say hi, and there I was laying on the floor like a dumb bloated corpse. So I'm very sorry. And it sucks because like I had this really weird experience this year, and before I tell you this story, just know like I'm not like trying to really like whine about this, because I realize like it's not really a big deal, and it's me who has the problem, not the person that I'm like gonna talk about. And I usually don't talk about this stuff, but I had a really weird experience where oh man, that car almost got in an accident. I had this really weird experience where we were going towards the main gate, because they do this giant group photo every year in front of the main gate. So me and some of my tribe were walking up there, going up to the main gate, and I saw someone that I know, I don't know, like I wouldn't really, up until, I kind of considered her like a, maybe not a friend, but like a good acquaintance. And I've known her online for a while. We're not like super close, so I'm not trying to be like we're buddy, but like I've known her for a while, and I think she found out about Wasteland through me. Like, I used to post stuff, and she's a really, really talented person, and I knew that she would really fit in the Wasteland scene. And I saw her, and she was all dressed up. She had a badass costume. She looked fantastic, and I got super excited. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I approached her. I knew that she had like commented on my posts on social media and been like, oh, I really want to go someday. And we had never met in person. So I saw her, and like, maybe she didn't recognize me or something, but you know, I approached her, I called her by name. She was with some friends. We're all getting ready to like take the picture. Everybody's gathered. You kind of wait there for a while where everybody gets situated. And I was like, hey, it's me. And she kind of looked and was like, oh, hey. And then I was like, you look amazing. Your costume is great. I'm so glad you finally made it out here. And then like mid-sentence of me saying like, I'm so glad you made it out here. It's nice to meet you in person. She just like turned away from me and started talking to her friends. Like, she wanted fucking nothing to do with this. And I just stood there awkwardly, just mid rejection of conversation. And it was so fucking embarrassing. Like, I just stood there like an idiot. I was just like, oh, okay. And then I just kind of turned to merge with the crowd, wanting to crawl off and die in social shame. And like, oh god, like, it was so fucking embarrassing. Like, it really bothered me, and this sounds super childish, but it totally hurt my feelings, like, in an unexpected way. Because like, I usually don't care about that shit. I don't know what it was. I think it's just that like it was so public, because there was like multiple people kind of just standing there, and like her friends kind of gave me this weird look. I don't know. Maybe it's amplified in my mind, but it was so fucking embarrassing. Like, it hurt my feelings. It sounds so stupid, but like, I never want to make anybody feel like that. And like, you know, I'm not one of the cool kids. Like I don't have an ego big enough to be like, oh, if I didn't acknowledge someone, it would ruin their day. And it didn't ruin my day. But like, I felt so bad because like after that happened, I was like, I really hope that the people who came to visit me and I was just laying like a lump on the floor didn't feel like that. Like I just didn't give them the time of day. Like I never want to make anybody feel like that. It was so shitty. Like, it's so stupid, but like maybe she had some stuff going on. Like, I don't know what's going on in her head. It doesn't really matter. Like, it's more, I don't know. It could have been fucking nothing at this point. But I just felt really bad. I hope I didn't never make anybody feel like that at Wasteland, because there's a lot of shit going on. Managing a tribe, I gotta like kind of run around and put out some fires once in a while, and I'm pretty busy. If you don't know me in person and you see me at Wasteland, like, come say hi, because I'm kind of an introverted, awkward, I don't like that word. I'm kind of an introverted person, and I don't really know, like, when I see somebody that I know on social media, I don't know when it's cool to, like, approach them. And after that experience, I'm kind of nervous, too, to be honest. So if you see me, like, don't worry about me acting all weirded out by you approaching me. And the thing is, people meet a lot of different people at Wasteland, and a lot of them are in different stages of costume, so you might not recognize them right away. Like, you might have to just directly introduce yourself. Like, I know you on Facebook and stuff, because you meet so many people, and people go by Wasteland names, so you might not put a name to a face right away. But that was the first time that happened. like the people at Wasteland, what's really cool is people are really friendly and really welcoming, and you might become friends with somebody that you otherwise may have never have met, or may not even have that much in common, besides being really into post-apocalyptic stuff, because I think that's a given if you're at the event. But it kind of made me appreciate like everything socially there after that happened, because right after that happened, I saw this chick, Mia, the Mia Sheen. She's really cool. I've known her. I met her at Wasteland years ago, but I kind of cultivated like a casual friendship with her online, and I saw her at Wasteland, and it was really cool, and I like ran into her right after that interaction, and it kind of like brightened my day because she was really cool. And one of the things since I've come back from Wasteland that I've realized is that I don't know, it's always strange coming back that first day, because you leave this barren desert where there's nothing but this fully themed post-apocalyptic city that people have built, and then you're driving into civilization. I used to always think that was the weird part, but the weird part is just like going about your day and interacting again with normal society. Because one of the best things at Wasteland, and Bridger Farlander made a post about this in one of the Facebook groups, and I really related to it. I might use some of his terminology just because I thought it was really accurate, is that there's a sense of goodwill at Wasteland. Like, everybody has a sense of goodwill towards one another. And people are extremely present. I think that's the way he put it, is that people are really present in all your interactions. Like, nobody's looking down at their phone, distracted. Everybody that you meet is kind of just, they're very present in the conversation. So you make connections with people in a very real way, because it is like a gigantic private party, and you're kind of mingling with all these people and getting to know them. And you walk around, and everybody is in, for the most part, except for me when I was passed out in my tent, everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's kind of in a social mood. You walk around, people offer you, like, strangers will offer you to come sit down at their camp and just chill out with them. They'll offer you water if you look thirsty, food. Every conversation that's going on, people are just welcome to kind of come in and join. And there's just this really nice sense of goodwill. And since, like, topics like politics and real life are kind of off the table at the event, you get to know somebody really based on their character. And it's really cool, but when I got back, I really, really missed that. Like, even now, I really missed that. People were super friendly. They're very welcoming. And I don't know, there's no pretense to things, you know? I don't know if I'm making sense, but the sense of goodwill is the best part of Wasteland, I think. And that's why a lot of my tribe mates are kind of normally, a lot of the girls anyway, are a lot of like shy, kind of introverted people, but I see them come alive at that event. Like I love taking creative people to the event because creative people like us are often introverted, and you just see them come alive and you see them make friends and keep those friendships after Wasteland. You see them grow and come out of their shell, and it's really amazing. And Wasteland is just a place where you can kind of be your authentic self the entire time you're there. You can just exist as your authentic self, and it's really kind of beautiful. That's my favorite part. And I kind of wish that everybody could live like that every day. Like, I heard people having conversations with each other, and, you know, we had conversations with other people where they would, like, openly just say, like, oh, it feels good to, like, finally say this, or it feels good to open up about this. And they're not big things. They're really not. But it's like people there aren't afraid of being, like, ridiculed for talking about nerdy things, or, like, I don't know, it's just really interesting. It has to be experienced, I think, to be really understood, but you get to be your authentic self there, and it would be nice for everybody to be like that all the time. Not to pull a John Lennon or anything, but it was just nice. It was really cool. And that's my favorite part, and that's the part I always miss when I come home, and I am home now, and I've been thinking about it a lot. Another thing, the den was amazing. That was like, okay, so the Faceless Merchants had a, like, probably my favorite camp, but the den was like my favorite themed area, and I spent so many nights there. And Uncle Zeke's was my favorite spot. It was badass. Everybody involved in the den, you guys did an amazing job. This year I was missing like a big chunk of my tribe. There was still 15 of us, but we're normally in the 20s, and the Chandlers didn't make it this year. And you guys, we missed you so much, and you would have loved the den. You probably would have ditched us and went and camped with the den. I don't know, but you need to go next year. You need to experience all of that because it was awesome. We couldn't stop talking about you guys. We kept seeing stuff, especially in the den, and being like, oh, like Cindy would love this, or like Dave would love this. And I hope you guys make it next year because we really felt, we felt your guys' absence for sure. I got a lot of really cool footage this year, but I still got to comb through it because I don't like filming with my phone at the event, even though it's easier to edit sometimes. I brought my GoPro with me, and I had a really cool clip mount that was a little bit more discreet than just awkwardly holding up a phone whenever I wanted to, or awkwardly holding up a GoPro whenever I wanted to film something. So I had it on my person, so there'll be a lot of first-person view footage, although I am very short. I'm 4'11" or 5 feet tall on a good day, so it might be more closer to chest level footage. I'll have to check it all, but I got a lot of really cool footage I'm going through. I hope you guys like it. And I got footage of my buddy Aaliyah, or Team Rocket, or Splash, depending on what tribe you know her from. She's one of my tribe mates. A lot of you guys know her. You guys comment about her a lot. She's in a lot of videos. And I got footage of her go-go dancing at the Attack concert. But one thing sucks. I didn't get footage of Tim, aka the False Prophet from Attack Squad. I didn't get footage of him chopping off his dreadlocks live on stage, which is devastating. But there's a lot of pictures of that going around. I got the last footage of him with dreadlocks, but not with him cutting it off. I'm so disappointed. I gotta figure out something because next year my costume's gonna be a little different. I thought up, well, this might be a topic for another video, but I'm gonna be portraying a different character a lot for lore play shenanigans next year, and I gotta figure out a creative way to rig up that camera where it's not like right in your face and it's a little disguised, so it's not just on my costume. Because what I would do is I had a quick release clip, so I would film stuff, and then when people go to take pictures of me or we'd take group pictures, I'd clip it off real quick so you couldn't see the GoPro. But it sucks because there's one picture I really like of me and a couple people in my tribe, and that fucking GoPro clip is there. And it's discreet, but if you look close, you still notice that there's a GoPro on my chest, and I gotta fix that because that's not acceptable. But I still really like filming casually when it's just attached to my costume because it's so much easier than having to pull that thing out. Like just pushing a button and having it go on and getting all that first-person footage is way easier. I didn't film nearly as much as I wanted to this year. Like there was a lot of, I wanted to do like a camp tour and stuff of different people's camps and have people explain them. I didn't have time for that. And I probably won't have time next year either. Because when it comes down to it, I don't go to Wasteland just to vlog. Footage comes out of Wasteland. I really enjoy showing you guys, and I really enjoy kind of editing that footage and having you guys think it's cool and talking about what is happening in the footage. But I don't go there to take footage. I go there to have an experience, and living in the moment and going around having an adventure was just more important to me than vlogging the entire time. This isn't a monetized channel. This is just something that I do because I really love it, and my friends like it, and you guys like it. So that's just how it is. I'm sorry. And on the subject of that, this isn't a monetized channel, but if you want to help support me getting to these PA events, you know, obviously you have no obligation. If I want to go and pretend it's the end of the world somewhere, that's really not your job to make me able to do that. But it does help, and it might incentivize me to make more of those type of videos. There's a donate button in the description, in the link. And yeah, if you wanna throw me $1 to tell me to shut the hell up, I'll gladly accept that. That would be awesome. That would be so cool. Editing footage right now of this past Wasteland and the tribes moot, aka, you know, the tribes meet where all the tribes gather, talk about lore, try to plan things for next year, talk about setups. That is next week, and I am going to that, so there'll be a little bit of footage of the tribes meet coming up soon, and that'll probably be maybe 2 videos away. I got another thing I'm gonna put up soon, and I hope you guys like it. It's kind of different, but anyway, thanks for joining me, and I really hope that these videos and stuff, if you haven't gone to Wasteland, make you want to go, and you don't just think it's a giant cringe fest. Keep in mind that everything, all of my thoughts and stuff expressed here, they're mine. I'm not a part of staff. I'm not officially affiliated with the Wasteland, so all these opinions are directly mine, and I'm just speaking from the point of view of being a longtime attendee and a tribe leader. And I hope you enjoy this. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. And I have a lot more thoughts on Wasteland Weekend 2018. Maybe I'll make another video. Maybe I won't. But I'll see you guys at the end of the world. Stay weird.